Hey all, Glenn Kirschner here. Please enjoy this video on the Political Voices Network.
You also tweeted Special Counsel Jack Smith urges appeals court to reverse Judge Cannon's lawless ruling and reinstate Trump's classified documents obstruction espionage case. Bring us up to date on that.
Yeah, so we saw the brief that Jack Smith filed saying to the 11th Circuit Court of Appeals, which has reversed Judge Cannon twice previously for abusing her judicial discretion and doing a favor for Donald Trump the law did not allow. Let's hope the third time is a charm. This will be a hat trick of reversals and abuses of discretion. And I know people were looking to see if Jack Smith dropped in that brief. By the way, appeals court, kick her off the damn case and put a fair, independent, impartial judge on the classified documents case. He didn't put that in there. I'm not surprised because I think he wants to wait and see if the 11th Circuit Court of Appeals does it on its own, which they're entitled to do. And once they reverse her for a third time, that is when the time will obviously be ripe to file the motion to kick her off. So I'm feeling good. The 11th Circuit Court of Appeals will reverse her, I believe. And then, of course, the question is, will the Supreme Court decide to take up that issue? And they shouldn't, and we can talk about why they shouldn't, and I don't think they will.
Okay. Yay. Let's, this, I wanted to alert you to Donald Trump's all caps post. It's all caps, so you know it's legally sound. He said, all January 6 cases should be immediately dropped. Now, he highlighted quotes that pinned the blame on Nancy Pelosi, but ignored her statements explicitly blaming him for the violence. Pelosi had said there is a domestic enemy in the White House. Let's not mince words about this. I have no idea how they're trying to twist Nancy Pelosi's words, but what is he basing that on even?
I don't know. You know, the all caps thing, it's his posts, it's his teeth. I mean, I'm not persuaded by either of them. But, you know, I think he is clutching, grasping at straws, right? Because you see the poll numbers, you see the enthusiasm. I get goosebumps every time I watch these Harris, Walls.
Oh, my God,
rallies.
Savannah,
I mean,
another packed house.
People are fired up beyond belief. You see the recent, and I'm not going to buy into the poll numbers, but, I mean, Donald Trump is sinking and Harris and Walls are rising. So I think what he's going to do, I mean, what did he say yesterday that I wish mainstream media would stop reporting? He said, the government's going to pay for everybody's IVF treatment. I mean, you might as well add, you know, Mexico is going to pay for everybody's IVF treatment. I wish they wouldn't broadcast these lies over and over again.
I know.
Because you know none of that is true. But it shows how desperate he is. And we're going to hear more of it, more lies, more attacks, and more calls to violence. And
thank you. I was so annoyed with the Dana Bash interview, just, you know, hammering Governor Walz on, you know, did he misstate that they had UVF instead of IVF? They used a different kind of fertility treatment. These stupid gotcha questions when you're right. Like Trump just does blatant lie after lie on every subject. But speaking of fact checking, I just wanted to say numerous independent fact checkers have confirmed again and again that Speaker Pelosi did not plan her own assassination on January 6th. The Speaker of the House is not in charge of security at the Capitol complex on January 6th or any other day of the week. So just constant lies. Right?
And how about everybody stop amplifying them? Because everybody listens to the lies, and what really doesn't have an impact on people is when they say, and the Harris campaign denies those lies. I mean, but the lies are what sticks and what gets everybody
the Harris campaign say it's a lie.
Let's not even go there. Let's just stop giving him that platform.
So Steve Bannon would like to be released from prison immediately.
Thank you very much. Yeah.
I love that.
Please and thank you.
Yeah.
He would like to leave prison early to continue appealing his conviction for contempt of Congress. If he serves the remainder of his term, he will be released 1 week before Election Day. Not nearly enough time to do all the effery that I'm sure he has planned. But what are the chances of that?
Yeah, well, there's no basis for it. And every inmate, and I'm not going to make light of this, every inmate would like to be released early, but few attorneys have the gall and the bad judgment to file motions saying, you know, we don't really have a basis for it, but, you know, my guy is really not enjoying himself as a guest.
He's not having fun.
As a guest of the Federal Bureau of Prisons, and he'd like to go home. Thank you very much. And that's not going to get a lot of play, I predict.
Yeah. One right-winger said that he's being tortured in prison. By that, they mean, he has to take a shower and wear one shirt. So that's new for him. Okay.
Yeah.
Glenn, I was with you at Boston Sexy Liberal. You remember we talked that I just had interred my mom with my dad at Arlington. So this Arlington story just infuriates me to the bone. I wanted to read this from the Army yesterday. Participants in the August 26th ceremony and the subsequent Section 60 visit were made aware of federal laws, Army regulations, and DoD policies which clearly prohibit political activities on cemetery grounds. So it doesn't matter that, okay, the family's invited and whatever his excuse is. They were using this as a campaign ad to attack Kamala Harris. And it's disgusting.
Yeah.
And they assaulted a Arlington employee.
And they put a campaign video up on TikTok. There's so many layers of this story that are disgusting, quite frankly, exploiting fallen soldiers by going to Arlington National Cemetery and videotaping. And one of the family members of the fallen soldiers whose headstone was visible in these videos, a Green Beret, was very upset and complained that now, his tombstone is now part of Donald Trump's campaign ad on TikTok. So the woman who was an employee of the cemetery who was telling the Trump campaign very professionally by all accounts, there are rules, regulations, and laws that prohibit political activity on the cemetery grounds. They, quote, pushed her aside. And then, Steph, they issued a statement mocking and demeaning her, saying she was unprofessional and she was apparently having a mental health episode. And she said, I'm not going to file a report. Why? Because I'm worried about retaliation from Trump supporters. How many layers of despicability can Donald Trump build into one day? But, when you look at the numbers that are falling of veterans, injured veterans, active duty military members who will not vote for him, that is just desserts right there.
Yep. One quick, the quote before we go. Chris, who said Kamala Harris for the people? Every prosecutor and former prosecutor understands the honor of being able to use those words in a court of law. And with that honor comes enormous responsibility to act in the best interest of the people you represent. Who said that?
Mayor McCheese.
No, that guy, Glenn Kirschner, former prosecutor.
I got that wrong.
Yeah, a little bit.
We love you, Glenn Kirschner. Make sure you're
love you, Steph. See you guys.
Checking that Sexy Liberal schedule. See you when you're coming to
checking.
join.
All right. Can't wait to see you, Glenn.
All right, love you.
Hey all, Glenn Kirschner here. I hope you'll join me on my new audio podcast, Justice Matters. I'll be using my 30 years as a federal prosecutor and Army JAG to unpack, break down, and explain the legal issues of the day, particularly where the legal intersects with the political. Please look for Justice Matters with Glenn Kirschner wherever you generally get your podcasts.